It's Bossy Brow time, friends. So I just finished having an amazing conversation with my Bossy Brow friend and radio host Andrea Lawful Sanders on WRD, and it was such an awesome conversation. And I wanted to bring that conversation to you because I recognize that a lot of times when we're making decisions about who we want to be our beauty service provider, there is so many options out there. So what I specifically want to talk to you about is how to choose the right brow artist. So, friend, let me start off by just telling you a story. Years ago, I was a lowercase o living in Atlanta, figuring myself out and trying to figure out my style. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get my eyebrows done. And so I was living in Atlanta. You know, and honey, if you don't know about Atlanta, everybody is fabulous in Atlanta. They're wearing 30 inches of hair. They got 6-inch stilettos. You know, everything is red on the bottom. You get the idea, right? And so I figured you could just go anywhere in Atlanta and get your eyebrows done, right? So I did that. It popped in my head that I wanted to get my eyebrows done, and I just went to the first salon. And y'all know when you walk into a place and it's like all eyes are on you. I was like, hi, I want to get my eyebrows done. And they were like, oh, okay. Like I had I don't know, a horn growing on my forehead. Like I know I'm a unicorn, but damn, y'all gotta look at me like that. Not the point of this story. So they introduced me to this guy. I don't remember this guy's name. Some random guy is doing my eyebrows. And then y'all, let's put the icing on the cake. I'm sitting in the chair and another thought pops into my head. I'm like, ooh, let me get lashes too. Woo, child. So first of all, y'all, let's talk about how I sat in the chair and the wax pot was like covered in foil and it had a stick already sitting in it when I sat down. Oh, God. Ah. So the wax pot already had a stick sitting in it. Y'all, that is Cootieville, okay? Cootie crime number one. So I sit down, the wax pot's covered in foil, the pot looks a hot mess, there's a stick already sitting in there, and the guy doesn't ask me anything about, what I want my eyebrows to look like. He doesn't give me any kind of direction. He doesn't ask me any questions about my skin. And y'all, this is before I was an esthetician, so I really did not even know how to advocate for myself. So where a lot of people make a mistake is that they think, oh, it's just eyebrows. But honey, somebody turn to your neighbor and say, honey, once the years pass by, they're not just eyebrows. You're gonna wish you had them just eyebrows back if you don't treat them right? So tell a neighbor it's more than eyebrows, okay? Talk to your neighbor and tell him that right now for me. So anyway, so he didn't ask me anything about my skin. He didn't ask me anything at all about, why I wanted my eyebrows done, right? And so you and I know, it just popped in my head. Why do you want eyelashes? I think it's really important to recognize where this was already gonna go all the way wrong. First of all, y'all, this man laid this wax on my skin, and when he pulled that paper off, can we talk about the absolute fire? The absolute fire that was on my eyebrows. So friend, let me tell you something. If you can relate with this, just tap it in the comments. Let me know. Tap it in the comments. Let me know. Child, I got these spam numbers that keep calling me. So if you can relate to this, let me know. So he pulled off that wax, honey, and my eyebrow was absolute fire. I couldn't even take it. I was just like, ah! Right? So I was visibly in pain, right? So typically a wax is going to be about 4 or 5 pulls of wax. Each pull, I'm just like on fire, okay? In pain. Then, y'all, this is before people was like taking pictures like talking about. So my eyebrows are in absolute pain. And then he puts these eyelashes on me. They're just strip lashes. He puts these eyelashes on me, friend. And when he hands me the mirror, I want y'all to know that at any moment, RuPaul could have called me and said, sashay away. Okay, friend, I'm trying to tell you right here, right now, I looked like I didn't even look like I was nowhere near close to finishing the competition, honey. RuPaul was going to be like, sashay away. Honey, my eyebrows were so skinty. My eyelashes was so big. I don't know. I got in the car. Y'all ever get in the car? You know how you get in the car and you pull the mirror down and you look at yourself. You look at yourself. It's something about that car. It's something about that little car thing that, would like really bring your self-esteem down like a notch or 4. And I'm looking at myself and I'm just like, oh my God. I look like a Saturday night lip sync for your life reject. It was awful. Absolutely awful. Okay. And then, so I told y'all I was in pain. On top of everything else, y'all, I had these huge whelps under my eyes. So I told you I wanted to come on and talk to you about how to choose a brow artist, right? And so it's one of those type of things where a lot of people take for granted and they think that, oh, I can just go anywhere. And how do I know people do that? I've done that. You've done that. My clients have told me that they have done that. And I think it's a huge mistake because we're in a time where your brows really are everything. And like I said, I just got off of an interview with amazing radio host Andrea Lawful Sanders on WRD, and we just had this great witty conversation, and she really got it out of me about how important it is that you select the right person. And one of the main things that I tell people is that it's important to select a brow artist who has a brow philosophy. Now, and this doesn't matter whether we're talking about regular styling, right? If you're talking about styling your eyebrows on a Monday, Tuesday through Saturday, right? You want just a cleanup, which is not a term that I personally use, but I know it's something you can relate to. If you want just a cleanup, and especially if you're talking about permanent makeup, you really want to make sure that you're dealing with an artist who has a philosophy. When you're like, Nisha, well, how do you know somebody has a philosophy? Well, oftentimes that's going to be indicated by, one, their qualifications, right? You want to know that this person is qualified to perform this service on your face. Let's be clear, y'all, okay? And y'all need to share this video with somebody, because there's somebody that in your circle right now that is about to make a bad brow decision, and that is not how we are starting off 2022, friend, okay? Okay? If your eyebrows is not bossy, they ain't right. And if you are watching me from out of town and you need a recommendation, friend, you better message me, because we're not making bad brow choices in 2022. So you want to make sure that the person is qualified to touch your face, okay? So if we're talking about a classic brow service, a brow tint, a henna brow, or a styling, then we're looking for somebody who is indeed an esthetician. And let me tell you the value of that. So I'm specifically saying esthetician. I don't want to gloss over the fact that cosmetologists are also qualified to do eyebrows, but I really need you to know that, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm going to just be real with y'all. I'm not a fan of people who have brows on their menu as an add-on service, okay? If you want to get your eyebrows done underneath the dryer, friend, you are already in for a ride, okay? I'm going to just tell you that right now. Just be ready for your eyebrow. I had a client tell me her hairstylist ripped off half her eyebrow. I was like, oh, child, she ripped off half your eyebrow. And then when she got in the chair, I was like, oh, she did rip off half your eyebrow, okay? So I'm not a fan of professionals who simply have it as an add-on service. You understand that I have an entire business around eyebrows, right? My business brings in multi-six figures around eyebrows. Not only do I style eyebrows, I correct eyebrows, I cultivate eyebrows. I am a brow restoration specialist. So be clear that when you sit in my chair, we're not talking about just a cleanup. When I look at your eyebrows, this is serious business, okay? Ain't nobody gonna say that they laid in my chair and Onisha made them crazy. No, friend. No. Okay? So you want to make sure whoever you go to has the proper qualifications. So again, if we're talking about styling, we're talking about an esthetician. And if we're talking about permanent makeup, you really want to make sure that the person has been trained. And it's a really simple question. Because if you ask me, and it may feel awkward, but if you ask me, if you ask Onisha Claire, where have you been trained? I'm going to tell you that I'm an internationally trained brow artist. I am 5 times certified. I am also, okay, let's be clear now, I am also a certified member of the American Academy of Micropigmentation, as well as the Society of Cosmetic Professionals, okay? So I am not just in this. I am also licensed and insured. I am also licensed in my county. I'm one of 4 people in my county that are actually licensed to perform permanent makeup procedures in my county. Now, it's more than 4 folks performing these procedures in the county, but child, that's neither here nor there. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not in nobody's business, okay? I'm just talking about me and mine. So you want to make sure that the person that you are seeking out is actually qualified. Another way to understand if they have a philosophy. Now, y'all got to give me some likes if this is good information. Does this make sense what I'm saying? Okay. And obviously this is going to be applied to anything, but we're talking about brows today. How do you choose a brow professional? The next thing that you, child, I was going to say, I don't have no water. This is going to be, y'all judge me if you want to, but I got a little bit of wine sitting here. I'm just going to go ahead and drink that. It was just sitting here. My throat was getting parched, okay? So let me go back to my story. The other way you find out if somebody has a brow philosophy is through a consultation. Y'all, I want you to know, it is my pet peeve when somebody tells me that they have done their research. And I'd be like, oh, okay, what did that include? Friend, I want you to understand that your research is incomplete if you have never had a conversation with the person. The person, their representative, if you have not had actual interaction with the business, your research is incomplete. And I'm going to tell you why. Social proof is on my list of methods to verify and choose a brow artist. But what I'm talking about specifically is the consultation. This consultation can happen over the telephone. It can happen in the DMs. It can happen virtually. And obviously it can happen in person. But we have to be really clear that selecting a brow professional specifically for permanent makeup, if you're talking about micro shading, if you're talking about microblading, if you're talking about nano brows, lip blushing, eyeliner, any of those things, any of those things, you need to have an interaction with that business. And let me tell you why. Because when it goes astray, you want to know that you are dealing with a real person that does not have some kind of personality disorder. You want to make sure that you are dealing with a person with integrity. You want to make sure that you are dealing with a person that you don't mind dealing with. And a consultation reveals that. If you reach out to a business for a virtual consultation and they don't reply or respond to you, then how are you going to get something permanent put on your face? That doesn't make sense. Because what about if you have a question about your healing? What about if you have a question about your touch-up or your follow-up? What if you have a problem? What if you want to refer a friend to them? You don't want this business out here embarrassing you on these streets. If you're dealing with a business that can't handle the consultation, then they don't need to get your brow business, friend. I'm just being 100. So when we talk about how do you choose a brow artist, a consultation is in there. Now, obviously, if you're already working with this person, you may not need a brow consultation because they're already aware of your skin, your brow, and your brow vision, your brow goals. So, but if you are somebody who is just on these internet streets, Googling and woke up this morning like me and was like, oh, I'm going to get my eyebrows done, I promise you that you do not want to hit buy now without having some level of interaction with that business. Even if you call the business, leave a voice message. Do they call you back? Do they call you back, right? This is very, very simple. To me, that's all a part of the consultation. When I'm getting anything done, I want to make sure that I have a human being that I am actually interacting with that interacts with me like I am a person that is paying my real money, okay? I'm just saying, friend. So we said, how do you choose a brow artist? You want to make sure that they have the qualifications. How you make sure they have the qualifications is that we want to make sure that they have a brow philosophy, and that is shown through their qualifications and their consultation. And the consultation also gives you space to ask them questions. I had this amazing client come in last week, and she is just bright and charming. She is an amazing therapist, and she runs this huge practice here in Philadelphia. And she asked me so many great questions. And I love it when clients ask me questions, because let me tell y'all something. I do not convince people to get their eyebrows done with me. I don't do no convincing. I answer questions. I give explanations. I will show you my work, but I am not convincing you. People only get their eyebrows done at Bossy Brows because they want to. And I find that those are the best clients for me. Right? I want to make sure that you are 100% comfortable with the process and with the choice that you're making about your eyebrows. So I don't convince people to get their eyebrows done with me at all in any way. And friend, you know, if you've been in my chair, you remember the first time you would be like, well, what do you need? You know, and I believe you're healthy, whole, and complete, honey. You don't need anything. It's about what do you want? What are you trying to achieve? And so when you have a consultation with me, when we have a conversation, that's what I'm going to assess. What is it you are trying to achieve? What is your lifestyle? Do you vacation? Are you on Zoom meetings all the time? You know, do you wear makeup? What is your skincare like? You see what I'm saying? So this is a total difference. And this is not just for permanent makeup. I need to know this when I'm just styling your eyebrows, okay? So hold on, friend. I had to write some things down. And you know I lost my train of thought, and you know she can't see all that good. Hold on. So anyway, my next thing is social proof, okay? So I'm not saying that Googling is wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Googling alone is not how you make a major investment like permanent makeup on your face. Google is just not the only way. The other thing, though, is that when you are looking at reviews, I do this all the time. I want to read the 1-star reviews. I expect the 5-star reviews to be excellent, but I want to understand exactly what the problem was, right? So when I'm reading reviews, if I'm doing business, I expect for there to be 5-star reviews. Let's start right there. But what I'm actually looking for is the 1-star review. Why, friend? You want to see how do they handle their problem? How do they handle conflict? How do they handle client complaints? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever have a problem with Bossy Brows, I prefer if you let me know, because I don't have the opportunity to correct the problem if you don't tell me. And honestly, if you go straight to the internet, she gonna have an attitude. I'm gonna have an attitude. It's not like I'm this huge company. I'm not Walmart. You know what I mean? I'm not Starbucks. If you have a problem, I'm super approachable. I'm bossy, not bitchy, right? So if you have a problem, just let me know. But I want you to know I have thousands of satisfied clients. I actually have a 100% satisfaction guaranteed on my Bossy Ombre eyebrow. If you don't love your Bossy Ombre eyebrow, I will take it off. I will remove it for free. And if any of you have ever had any type of tattoo removal, you understand that that is a process and free is unheard of. So I just want you to know that, honey, she is me, knows how to handle and work with clients. And fortunately, I've never had that issue. Why? Because I'm qualified. No shade, all the shade, close the blinds. Okay? Anyway. Anyway, but social proof is very important. You need to know, how do they handle client conflicts? Is there a comment? Was there a 1-star review, and did they even bother to reply? Now, in my defense, y'all, because y'all know I used to also own a nail salon. I owned the largest black-owned nail salon in the country for almost 10 years. And so I used to have to take like a little break. Like I would read a negative review and I couldn't respond like right then and there. And honestly, it's because I used to put so much of my heart and soul in that nail salon, and I had a huge team. And so a lot of times when people would write reviews, it would be about just something that happened at the salon that I personally didn't have control of. And, back then I would just take these kind of things so personally. I could not respond to those reviews in the moment. So it would take me a couple of weeks to respond. But if you're looking at somebody that's an established business, then you should be seeing reviews that are 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. Ooh, hold on, Frank. Ooh, child, Amazon Prime just pulled up out in front of my house. Y'all know it's Monday. She home. They better leave my package too for my neighbor. Y'all know I live in Philly, so the doors is closed. Not the point, friend. Let me get back on track. Mom, get back on track. So I'm talking about, and I'm sorry if you don't know who I am. My name is Onisha Claire. I am the bossy and benevolent brow queen over at Bossy Brows, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And if something I've said so far has intrigued you and you're interested in scheduling an appointment with me, just use the link in my bio or go to bossybrows.com. But today I'm talking to you about how do you choose a brow professional, right? And so social proof. I told you, we're looking at the 1-star reviews. We want to know, how do they respond to client conflict? So that's one aspect of social proof. The next thing is you also want to look at their website, okay? Is their website up to date? You want to look at their social media. Are they posting current work? Now, this social proof thing is actually a really big deal, guys, with social media, okay? When we're talking about permanent makeup and brow work in general, something that I do see, especially for new artists, is that they do take other people's work. And so we're looking for a certain level of consistency in the way they're posting their work. I personally am turned off by images that have too much filter and too much finish on them. I think it's reasonable on social media to think that there may be some filter, but I should really be able to see the permanent makeup work with no filter. This is really important because a huge part of selecting a permanent makeup artist is their ability to select the right color for you, especially if you're someone with any level of hue, right? If you're a richly hued person such as myself, or anywhere on the Fitzpatrick scale, you really want to make sure that person has a good understanding of color and how it's going to show up. And for you need to be able to see that in their work. You also want to see that they are posting healed work. Healed work is very, very important. Everybody's work should look good when it's first done, but how does it heal? And you can look at healed work a month out, 2 months out, 2 years out, but you definitely want to see that they are posting healed work. The other thing about this social proof and healed work is that when you see an artist that's posting healed work that's 6 months old, 2 years old, 5 years old, what that also lets you know is that those clients are happy. That's a big deal. They are happy. They are comfortable, right? It also lets you know that this is an established business, that when you want to have your work touched up 2 or 3 years from now, they're still going to be in business. A lot of businesses fail within the first 3 years, okay? So I'm not putting anything on anybody. This is just a matter of fact. This is just an observation. A lot of people get into the permanent makeup business, and it is a tough business because a lot of people don't have the skills and the qualifications, and quite honestly, the demeanor to ride the wave, right? And you really have to be able to make a huge capital investment in developing the skills that it takes to be a high-level permanent makeup artist and high-level brow artist for that matter as well. And so even when we're looking at classic brows, you want to make sure that the artist is able to deal with your particular brow problems. When we're looking at classic brows, I like seeing that they have more than one type of brow service available. Does that make sense? The reason why I like to see that is because I really want to know that they're not going to just push me in a box. If they only do one thing, then are you really getting the best options? And so social proof is going to tell you this. Looking at their website is going to tell you this. You want to make sure that they have enough options in what they can offer you in terms of brow services, that they can actually meet your needs. Whether you know what your needs are or not, as a professional, they should know, and they should be able to cater something specifically to your needs. So we said we want to make sure that they have a brow philosophy. We do that through qualifications. We do that qualifications, certifications, and consultation. We also are looking at social proof. Hold on, friend. And we're also looking at their portfolio. So if you go in for a consultation, and even if you're doing a virtual consultation, this is how I do my consultations. I like to show people work on brows that look like theirs, okay? So I think that is so important. It is so important that you look at work on people with your skin type, May that be oily, dry, mature. Skin texture. Is your skin youthful and hydrated? Is it dry and flaky? Is it even and clear? Is it acneic? Do you want to make sure that they have work on your hue of skin? And again, when we're talking about hue, you may not understand this, that putting on a brow pencil, which is on the surface of the skin, is not the same as implanting pigment into the skin, okay? So it's really important during that consultation that you actually see work that is representative of what it is that you will be getting on you, okay? And so obviously things can go awry, but 9 times out of 10, if this person has been doing eyebrows on skin that looks like yours, that you can expect that level of results. So it's so important to be able to look at that person's portfolio. And so typically you'll find that portfolio again on social media and on their website. But this is really huge, okay? Something else that I like to see when I'm going through a professional's page, I like to see how they get to the work. I before and afters are nice, but it's also very important for us to see the stages, okay? I like to see the before, I like to see the drawing, I like to see the process, and then I like to see the after, and then I actually want to see the healed. So, this is above and beyond, but I want you to understand that when you are really working with someone who is a brow artist, somebody who is at an elevated level of the game, this is something that you should expect, okay? And what I'm talking to you about today is how do you choose a high-level brow artist? Okay, hold on, next thing on my list. Oh, child. And so finally, access. Do you have access to them? I say this because, in these social media streets, people can get a little bit, okay? And the reason why access is important, you want to know that if you call them, they're going to answer the phone, at least reply to your voice. Can you text? Can you email, right? You need to make sure that you are going to be able to get a response from this business. And quite honestly, it's not about just problems. It's also about success too. Friend, I can't stand it when I refer somebody to a business and the business shows their ass. I can't. It just salts me up because I feel embarrassed by association. You ever had that? Let me know. Drop it in the comments. You've been embarrassed by association, right? And so it's really important that even if you have a great experience, you just want to make sure that they have good customer service. And that is typically evidenced by access. So friend, that is my whole list. How to select a high